it was always going to be a big decision to decide who to leave out. After the performances of Amir Jangu and Ruston Chase in the first test match, and with Shehope seen as certainty for the moment in the West Indies team, his decision to return to the playing 11 was always going to give the selectors an headache. They have opted to leave out Joshua da Silva, giving him only one match on his return. Quite a controversial decision. Hello, everyone. This is the Cricket Forum. Welcome to the #1 cricket channel in the Caribbean. I thank you very much for being here. I appreciate your company and look forward to a live discussion as we go through this match. Please become a member of our club on Patreon and join the live discussion. Sri Lanka won the toss and are batting, and after 9 deliveries, they are 6 without loss. As expected, Kemar Roach is not playing. It's a case where Kemar Roach is unable to really play 2 consecutive test matches, especially when they are so close together. And this may be because Kemar Roach doesn't play cricket unless he's playing for West Indies or a county contract. So his work and his age, because of his age and his lack of workload, the body does not have that fitness. One would say he played 3 consecutive matches in New Zealand, cooler climate, and he broke down in the third one. I advised the West Indies not to select him for 3 consecutive matches. The first 2 were a little distance apart, but to select him for 3 consecutive matches, he wasn't going to last. So Sri Lanka batting, and they are 6 without loss after 1.5 overs. Shamar Joseph sharing the new ball with Jaden Seals as one would expect. Anderson Phillip comes in for Kemar Roach. That's the expected change. No one expected anything different there. That would be the change that would have been expected. So that is quite understandable. So they're just showing the umpires. So Shamar Joseph now to finish up the over. He's going to move in now to Udara. So Udara's coming to the side. He comes in now, 3 sips on a gully, and a forward short leg goes down wide off the gully down to the boundary for 4. Was on the front foot and he drove at that, and a flying chase at gully could not get his hand onto it. And yet again, we have conceded another boundary down at third man. So 10 without loss at the end of 2 overs. Yeah, so Philip was always going to come in. I know that the Kemo Paul fans would have had some hope, but he was always just going to be cover for the set of fast bowlers, because Philip is definitely ahead of Kemo Paul in the ranking at this time. But it's good to see after the performance of Kemo Paul in the regional 4-day that he was called up. I'm surprised that he was called up ahead of Niall Smith, but I guess because of his ability with the bat, why he was called up ahead of Niall Smith. But one would expect that Niall Smith would be ahead of him when it comes to bowling. So I'm a little bit surprised there. So Jaden Seals to Madushka, as Nisanka has been dropped from the Sri Lanka team for this match. Yes, so it's this. I really look forward, and I hope that we will have an interesting morning. It's 9:12 in Jamaica. West Indies is going to be in some trouble with this overrate, There's a lot to be discussed. And I know that the big topic, Seals bowls to Maduska, who covers up and get it down back with a square leg. That is Shamar coming off the boundary and the backward square leg boundary and another run. He'll level without loss now. He'll level without loss. I have made it clear that I would not have dropped the silver. I can't give a man the gloves for one match. We all knew that he dropped 3 catches in the first innings. In the second innings, his movement behind the wicket was much better, apart from the fact that he took a catch. And it was important that that wicket fell in in the second over of the Sri Lankan innings, and he was able to gobble it up. 3 slips goes down, and the gully seals balls to Yodara, who covers up into the offside, and there is no run. The score remains at 11 without loss. Seals bowling at 136. Click there. So yeah, he dropped 3 catches in the first innings. Fine. That was poor. He did not drop any in the second innings, and his movement was very good in the second innings. So it was not like he have a terrible game. If he had a terrible game and they decide to drop him, fine. Seals over the wicket, down the leg side, whipped away through mid wicket, dollar. So that's pitched up and he just whipped it away through mid wicket. There's a tinge of grass on the strip, but Sri Lanka won the toss and decided to bat. And there was Jaden Seals, a little bit too straight, and the batsman just whipped it away through mid wicket for 4. Lovely shot. That's a good start. You only have 3 on the outside, the backward short leg, a mid on, and the man on the backward square leg boundary. He's at forward short legs. So Django is at forward short leg, and that was whipped through mid wicket. So you have 3 slips of gully, backward point, mid off, mid on, forward short leg, and a man at backward square leg. Seals comes in wide outside the half stump. The batsman allows it to go through, and there is no run. 15 without loss after 2.5. Shea Hope, by the way, is the wicket keeper. Yeah, so in the case of Joshua Da Silva, the point I'm making is that once you give him the gloves for one match, I don't think it is fair for you to take the gloves away from the man for the next match. You know, whether Seals over the wicket, bowls outside the half stump, Opes collect, and there is no run. And as I saw Ope collect that ball, I need to come back to that point. Whether or not you agree with the decision to pick Joshua Da Silva in the first test, that's not what I'm discussing. You know, so for those who are going to be saying that he should not have been playing in the first place, that's not what I'm discussing. Forget Joshua Da Silva. Forget Joshua Da Silva and look at the fairness of life. Well, persons are going to say life is not fair and cricket is not fair and so on. But why do we have to be unfair? Why would I give an individual the gloves for one match and then I took it away from him for the second match? That doesn't sit comfortable with me as Madushka covers up to Shamar Joseph and play the ball into the gully and there is no run, 15 without loss. That just doesn't sit comfortable with me. It just doesn't sit comfortable with me to take the gloves away from an individual after only one match. It was always going to be a tough decision, but I would not have made that one. Shamar over the wicket, cuts away, caught. He just played it straight to King at backward point, giving catching practice, and King held on to it. So Maduska goes for 6. Sri Lanka lost their first wicket. Shamar Joseph again with another breakthrough, as it was short, and the batsman probably should have hit it a little higher, but he played it straight to King at backward point, who took a comfortable catch, a regulation catch. And Maduska go, West Indies getting the early breakthrough Maduska goes caught by Brandon King at backward point. Off the bowling of Shamar Joseph for 6 from 11 deliveries, 15 for 1. He, it's really catching practice that he was given there. He didn't try to keep it down. He didn't try to hit it up and over. He was probably thinking that he could hit it into the gap, but Shamar Joseph, that extra pace let him play the ball later than he wanted to play it. And in trying to play it forward of point, that little bit of extra pace from Shamar Joseph, it ended up going to backward point. And maybe what he should have done was probably to wait on the ball a little more, since it's already quick and lift it over the slip. But I'm thankful for the wicket. So Maduska gone. I'm just analyzing the dismissal. You know, it wasn't a ball that deserved a wicket, but then most of the times the deliveries that got wicket, they don't deserve. You built up pressure and then some balls that got wicket. Oh boy. So Shamar Joseph getting the breakthrough. And as I saw that wicket went down, I'm saying, boy, we're probably having another quick test here. This one might end Sunday again. Wouldn't we love that? Oh boy. Especially if West Indies win. So that's the first point I have to make about the Joshua da Silva scenario. So let's watch this delivery from Shamar Joseph. He's bowling to Chandimal with an average of 43 in Test cricket. 3 slips a gully and a forward short leg goes down. He played that ball to Brandon King at backward point and there is no run. This one was all along the ground, coming jerkingly forward like a man who is facing his first delivery in the match. So there it was, outside the half stump. Yeah, he wanted to play it forward of point. He saw the ball back of a length. He saw it wide, and he was saying that this is dollar. But it wasn't all that wide, you know. Yes, the shot was on, but I think a little extra pace got him to play it later than he wanted to, and then carried the backward point. Off the back foot goes Chandimal, played it to mid off, and there is no run. The score is 15 for 1. So now, as I saw Shea Hope keeping, the numbers will show you that Shea Hope started to perform in India when he was not keeping in Test cricket. And so, bearing in mind that those numbers are available and those statistics are available, over the wicket comes Shamar, bowls right through Chandimal, loud appeal, not outside the umpire. I don't think it touched anything, it's safe. What's a lovely delivery as Chandimal came on the front foot between bat and pad through to the keeper. No damage done. It was a lovely delivery, 15 for 1. It touched down and it came back to the batsman. As the Sri Lankan right-hander prodded forward, it nipped back and go between bat and pad. No damage done though. It probably had clipped the pad, but it was outside the line of the half stump. Yes, did clip the pad, but clearly outside the line of the half stump and through to the keeper. 15 for 1. There's 3 sips down the gully and the backward point. For backward short leg he is now. So he's at backward short leg for Chandamal and off the over. 15 for 1, Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting. So to Shea Hope now. He started performing when the gloves was taken away from him in India and given to Imlak. So why would you give him back the gloves? You know, in the 4 test matches since the gloves were taken away from him, he scored 200s. So why would you give him back the gloves? That's a strange one, you know. Naturally, I wouldn't have Django keeping in tests. I don't think Django, the quality of Django wicket keeping is up to that of a test wicket keeper. Django for me is like As Seals comes in wide outside the half stump, Hope skips across and collect, and there is no run. For, for me, Django is, if you are playing in a test match and your keeper gets injured, then you would give Django the gloves. But for me, I don't think Django is a test wicket keeper. But why would you give back Shea Hope the gloves when the scores that he were making was when he did not have the gloves? But while he had the gloves, he struggled. So interesting decisions, you know. But the point though that I really want to make, and this is strictly opinionated as usual. Seals bowls to Udara, who covers up and played it back down the offside of the pitch. Mid-off will eventually field after it came off the boot of the bowler. The score remains at 15 for 1. I am not here saying that Shea Hope was not injured for the first test, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. In my view, Shea Hope saw a tinge of grass on the pitch at Sir Viv. Seals bowls to Udara, who leaves alone, and it goes to through to Shea Hope. He saw, in my view, in my opinion, he saw a tinge of grass on the pitch and thought that it was going to play fast. And as usual, he was running from pace. And he was bearing in mind about the match that was abandoned, because this was the same pitch abandoned earlier this year between Trinidad and Tobago Red Force and the Leeward Islands Hurricane. And then the other match now, the finals between the Red Force and the Guyana Happy Eagles, had to delay after it started. They have to come off the pitch and give it some more time to dry it out. So he look at that and he just say, yeah, boss, my shoulder no feel so good, Me not go, me not go out there, But when he saw how the pitch played, despite the grass that was on it, and man making double hundred, then he decided, boy, we have to play Seals outside the half stump. Udara leaves alone through to the keeper, full and wide. He allows it to go through outside the half stump. Just push the left pad and allows it to go through. Yeah, so when he saw when he saw good the pitch play, So, and although there's a tinge of grass, there's some grass on this one this morning. He then believes that, you know what? Although look at grass on it, it's all right. It played good last week, so if in my view, if Shea Hope was just brave, this challenge that we have of dropping a player who after one match, because Amir Django would not have played, and you are happy for Django, that he made a double hundred and so on, and have cemented his place, because you really couldn't drop a man who make a double hundred, If he made 100, you could have said, boss, you make 100, but I just make 100 in New Zealand, you know. Shea Hope gone 200. Greaves make a double hundred. Skipper can't get dropped. You could have said that to Django and say, you know that you're next in line, but I really sure hope you were playing for. But when the man crack a double hundred, you can't tell him that. You can only tell him that if he had only made bills. 3 slips on the gully and the forward short leg goes down as Chandimal is beaten outside the half stump, 131.4, not too fast. That wasn't all that fast. But it held its line. It never came back in. So Shamar Joseph, remember that the last delivery that he bowled to Chandimal was one that came back into him, and that would have been in Chandimal's mind. He served up to him the outswinger right away, and he trying to pick it from his arm as Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting are 15 for 1. 15 for 1. Yeah, so in a nutshell, I don't think Shea Hope was injured. That's my opinion. I don't believe he was. Shamar Joseph bowled on that one, came back to him, and the man feel that backward short leg. He's mixing it up here now. That was a little quicker at 133.4. So it was always going to be a tough decision who to leave out. Secondly, why give Shea up the gloves when his performance shows that he's without the gloves he's making hundreds, and with the gloves he's not. He probably passed 40 on the ones. I think he reached 40 on the ones in 8 test innings. He reached 40 on the ones with when he was keeping, and in the next 8 innings when he was not keeping, he made 2 centuries. So why give him back the gloves? I don't know. So that one came back and hit the fielder on his hand. So that's it, the second point. And the third point is that I do not believe that Shea Hope was injured. I am not a doctor. I'm not in Antigua. So I'm just going off my belief, my guts. Um, so, and that's why I say believe. That, it's my opinion. I'm not saying that he was not injured. I am just saying I do not believe that he was. Yes, and yeah. So those are the 3 points I make since morning. God Ames, welcome and happy to have you here. God Ames believe that Blunder Factory really does not like Josh. Phillips didn't have to play. This was a ridiculous move. I've already explained that I'm always going to play my 4 bowlers. This is the end of Josh. Not necessarily God Ains. I no, you. I think Phillips don't have to play. We have enough bowling in this game. Just watch and see. I don't agree that we have enough bowling. I do not share that view, and I will explain why. You will look at how Greaves bowl in the first innings in Sri Lanka first innings, and he got 3 wickets. But that was the first time that Justin Greaves was getting 3 wickets in a match. Very first time. So the pretty run up and so on, don't let that fool you. We're going to watch as Udara is going to face up now to Shamara Joseph. 16 for 1. Kima Paul is on the field. Joseph plays this away down to third man. As a player that I mentioned just now, Paul gave chase towards the third man boundary, sends the return in a high one over the head of Shea Hope. Appears to be backed up in the onside. 2 more to the total. Udara moves up to 11. So Kima Paul is on the field for the time being. As soon as I am aware of who is out there for, I will let you know. Was it Brandon King? Because he has fitting in at backward point. So it could be Brandon King. 3 sips the gully, the backward short leg, and the batsman defend this to mid off, and there is no run. End of the over. So to put it mildly, and the numbers are there and they will back me up. You can look at the numbers yourself and the strike rate of Greaves and Chase. I am not going into a cricket match expecting that Greaves will give me 20 overs per innings, 25 overs per innings, or even 18 overs in a day's play. I am not going in a cricket match expecting Chase to give me 15 overs in a day's play. Chase strike rate in the last series, I think, is 172. You know how many 172. You know how many deliveries that there are 100 deliveries in a T20 match. 120 deliveries in a T20 match. So with the current strike rate of 172 deliveries. So I cannot go into a match. Seals outside the half stump to Chandimal allows the outswinger to go through and there is no run. No, I'm always going to play the 4 specialist ball. And I think I've explained that to you already, Garth Ains, but and I'm more just giving my opinion for those who are tuning in. Yes, Greaves got 3 wickets in the last match, but do you see Greaves and Chase as somebody to give you, say the 3 frontline bowlers give you 20 overs in the match, 20 overs in the day's play, 90 overs. Yeah, I know that they hardly bowl the 90 overs in the day's play, but we have to deal with what the factual situation is. So they are to bowl 90 overs in a day's play. Yeah, right. What your fast bowlers, you want them to bowl anywhere between 18 and 21 overs, the most in a day's play, the most. You don't want them to go over 21. I know that Walsh and those guys would give you 24 in a day's play. But these modern guys who are not as strong as those guys and who break down much easier than those guys, you're not going to give them so many overs. Seals to Chandimal and it touched down and then seam left the right and then it goes through to the keeper and there is no run. 18 for 1. So 20 from Shamar, 20 from Alzari, and 20 from Jaden Seals. You still need to get through 30, another 30 overs. And you are going to trust Chase and Greaves to get wickets in those 30 overs. Well, it's not every day we're going to lucky like the first test match. Outside the half stump, Chandimal leaves alone exaggeratedly so as it goes through to the keeper, 18 for 1. So I'm going into my frontline bowlers. In a nutshell, what I'm saying, Garth Ains, I do not see Greaves and Chase as genuine wicket-taking threat. You know? And I made a similar point the other day, because I think you heard this point already. So you know that you have been making the same point from last week that you're going to drop one of the bowlers and play the batsman. And you see, I told you that nothing goes so, and you see you get it wrong and you still come back with it again, Garth Ains. So let me leave it because I would have said enough. As that ball comes back into the batsman who played it down in front of him. So I would have said enough on that issue from last week. I've been telling you, Garth Ains, that it cannot go so. And you came back with it again. So just hug up the fact that your thought process is not how it really goes, and just accept how things really goes. All right. So I think I addressed that point, and I think it's the last I'm going to address it for this match because I've been addressing it from the second match. 3 slips, gully, backward point, Seals over the wicket outside the half stump, touchdown and leave the batsman. It goes through to the keeper, 134.4 kilometers, end of over number 7. At the end of over number 7, Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting. They're 18 for 1 with Chandimal on 1, Udara on 11. So Shamar Joseph to continue. I already said I'm not going to say any more on that, but that's not true. He doesn't have a knack of taking wicket. A man who has a knack of taking wicket get wickets at a much faster clip than Justin Greaves. But rest the case, Garth Ains. I have nothing more to say on it. You clearly, the powers that be agree with my thought process, and you see that your one is not the one that is being promoted, or is not the one that is being done. So not true. Justin Greaves doesn't have a knack of taking wicket. That's not true. They're showing the ocean. Now, I don't know if something, what's happening here? Why are they showing the ocean? All right, so we're ready. We're back with cricket. Over the slip, down to the boundary for 4. Outside the half stump, Udara throw his bat. He ensured that he didn't try to control the shot, but more to hit it up. You have no intent. Well, that was 139.3. When I said no intention to control the shot, one would believe that I mean that he has no intention of keeping it down. That's what I mean. But hitting it over the top too is also a form of controlling the shot, eh? Yeah. Because It doesn't have to be on the ground for it to be controlled. It can be up in the air and it controlled. Shamar Joseph now is over the wicket as the 3-6 goes down and he covers up and plays this one to the man in the covers. So that's Amir Django. It appears that Brandon King is off after taking that catch. Did something go wrong after he took the catch? Very, very, very interesting. 22 for 1, over number 8. It looks like Alzari Joseph is going to come into the attack to replace Seal. So they are giving him short bursts here. You see him stretching away. Shamar is at the top of his mark. He's going to move in now. The empty stands behind him. Not good business for vendors. He's there outside the half stump, play to the man at cover. And again, there's no run. So that's Django in the 95. Not seeing Brandon King. So he took one catch. So one catch and is off. Signals and so on. I don't know if he was saying to Django, don't shite. 3 sips and the gully goes down. Shamar bowls, turn away through square leg. Work for the fielder coming off the backward square leg boundary. And this is good for Alzari Joseph as he just lengthened those stride and he just galloped around the boundary. Not really sprinting, but just striding out. And they came back for 2, 24 for 1 after 7.4. Yeah, and that would do good for him and warm him up for the innings, yeah, for his bowling spellers. I think that he will probably come into the attack after this over. 24 for 1, West Indies fielding after Sri Lanka won the toss and decide that they will bat first. Here is Joseph. He goes past the mid-on and the mid-off now and he comes in and bowls and that ball comes back into the batsman off the seam. It went to the right of Jaden Seals at mid-on, was to run to his right, picks up. And in the meantime, the batsmen were able to go through for a single, which pushed the score up now to 25 for 1. So it's 25 for 1. Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting. Chandimal is on 1. Yodara, who has been there from the start. I'll give you Yodara's score in a bit. This is the final match in this all-format Sri Lankan tour, which started with 3 ODI in Kingston, Jamaica. Shamar bowls to Chandimal, whipped away to Brandon King, who took another catch. Oh, so King is on the field. He probably came back out, and that one whipped away. Low to King left, and he came up with a good catch. So Shamar pitched up on the batsman on the front foot and whipping it away. And as he whipped it away, he picked out King at short mid-wicket and Chandimal goes. Shamar getting his second wicket. And West Indies have struck 2 early blow here on the opening morning, in the opening hour. And when you win the toss and bat first, this is not the type of score you want to be. You don't want to be 25 for 2. So I guess they have more faith in their spinners than their fast bowlers. So Shamar 2 for 16 from 4 overs. They have more faith in their spinners, so they wanted to bowl last on this pitch. But they're in a spot of bother here. And, you know, I think Shamar is going to get a 5. Yes. He's going to get a 5. And why I say that is that under normal circumstances, those 2 deliveries from Shamar that got those wickets, would never got a wicket, under normal circumstances, One was a half volley and leg stump clipped straight to the man at mid-wicket. The other one was a short and wide delivery steered to the man at backward point. On both occasions, it was Brandon King who took the catch on both occasions. It's days like this, then you give the man a 10-over spell because you're probably not going to need him to bowl a second spell because by the time he finished with this spell, Sri Lanka would probably be bowled out. Two deliveries, you know, two deliveries. And clip straight to one shot outside the half stump, the other one, you know. Yeah. So is his day. Is his day. And so you don't take the ball away from him. That's my question, you know. Um, the next thing I want to talk about as I move on is before I come to more about the test match, because this is something that we have to talk about. Let me give you the facts first before I give you the speculation and I give you how the story is going to sound in the future, or it's going to go legendary. So Shakira Paris has have been alleged to beat up a taxi driver in Antigua. He was arrested and is now out on bail. Seals in his fifth over bowls to Yodara, who plays that to backward point, and there was no run. So those are the facts. It is alleged that he beat up a taximan. So apparently, Kima Paul was on the field for Brandon King, but Brandon King came back on, and Kima Paul was saying, "Man, why have to come back on so quick, man? I mean, I get the catch that at mid wicket, you know." Yes, you know. So the Sri Lankan two dismissals was really, really balls that should have been hit for four. So you need to keep on Shamar because this is there. And this one plays to the fielder in the covers, and there is no run. Seals is the bowler. Yes, so let me repeat the facts. He beat up a taximan. It has been alleged that he beat up a taximan in Antigua. He was arrested by the Antiguan police and he's now on bail. So that is the facts as we know them. Now, you know, I'm going to tell you how legend is going to have it a few years from now. So this is just my, what you call it, my exaggeration. This is just my, what's the word again, man? Well, you know the word. You know the word. The word is not coming to me right now. Premeditation? No, I don't. The word is not coming to me. But what I'm saying is just, you know, just for fun. Not, I already stated the fact. 25 for 2, Seals. In his fifth over, none for 9. So there are 3 sips of gully, backward point cover, mid off. He's in balls to Yodara, who allows the outswinger to go through to the keeper, and there's no run. As it touched down and it seamed away from the right-hander, who allows it to go through. So Camindo Mendes has come to the crease, a man who averaged over 16 test cricket. Has that average gone down after poor 2 innings? So Jaden C is operating from the Sir Andy Roberts end, 25 for 2. As he comes in now, he's bowled now to Yodara outside the half stump through to the wicket keeper, and there is no run. 25 for 2, Jaden Seals, 4.5 overs, none for 9. He has clearly taken over now from Roach as the man who really keeps it tight for the West Indies. And those wickets that he got in the first test match would have calmed him down, because I think in the first innings of the first test match he went searching for wickets because his returns have been minimal for about 2 or 3 tests, and he went searching for wicket. But I've gotten those wickets. He have calmed down and have gone back to his best. He comes in now, balls outside the half stump. Another outswinger as it touched down and it seams away and leave the batsman, goes through to Shea Hope. It's 25 for 2 at the end of number 9. So here's how this story is going to go 10 years from now, as it becomes folklore in the West Indies. Shakira Paris, having made 177 for the West Indies Academy against the Sri Lanka emerging players in Sri Lanka. So because he made the 177 now, he think that he's above the law. And he have probably seen precedents, especially when it comes to West Indies cricket. So he arrived in Antigua and he want to go to which part of that again, man? Victory Road. He wants to go down by Victory Road. Victory Road is where Coolidge is. That's where the West Indies Academy is based. So he saw a taxi man, you know, the regular routine thing, and put him back in the car and everything. And so apparently when them drive off, the taxi man said, "We are Victory Road, you're going." Man said, "Me go Coolidge, you know." Taxi man said, "What? You're West Indies cricketer?" Say, "Yeah, man. Just crack up my Sri Lanka to, you know, big 100, 177. And say, "Boss, no one West Indies cricketer in my car now. On the work list. I don't want none of you in my car, man. Come out of my taxi." Shamar Joseph over the wicket. Balls to Udara as he squared up and go on the bunks to Hodge in the slip. He squared him up there and it dropped short. So that was a good delivery. Squaring up Udara and it went to Hodge in the slip, but it dropped short of him. Shamar Joseph need to bowl some half volleys. The half volley and the wide ball get the wicket, man. Them ball can't get wicket. Look at that. Beautiful delivery. Squared up the batsman, flew off the face of the bat, but dropped short of Hodge at third slip. So you don't need to be bowling those deliveries, Shamar. Bowl half volley on the pad and short and wide outside the half stump and you get wicket. And them ball get wicket today, you know, see. And them ball get wicket. 26 for 2, pitched up, covers up, back. The bowler fielding is follow through. 26 for 2. Yes, so the man said, "Come out of my taxi, man. West Indies, no what list no backside, and I can't win nothing. I pay RT, you can get people and pay disappointment. When I start play good cricket, man, we can't win free. Even if you pay me $1 million, I don't want you in my taxi. Come out." So Paris said, "Who you talk to? You cannot talk to me like that." So the man said, "Watch now." So him just stop him car and come out and car and just take out Paris thing and just throw them outside and say, "Come out of my car, boy." Shamar Joseph on his way bowls to Udara and Udara drives through the covers. Lovely shot and it runs away down to the boundary for 4. 30 for 2. Yeah, as he pitched up there, half volley. And Udara drives it wide off mid-off for 4, showing the full face of the bat. Don't bowl the half volley and half stump, else you will get driven. You have to bowl the half volley and leg stump, and then he will play it to the man at mid-wicket. 30 for 2. If the wicket on the half side is a back of a length ball, short outside the half stump, and then he will cut it into gully or backward point and here is Shamar Joseph. He's over the wicket. He comes in, bowls to Udara, taken on the pad. Loud appeal. This must be out. He must give in. He said, "Not out unless it is high." Unless it is high. But that look very adjacent to me. Shea Hope said, "Go for it." And they're thinking about it. 3 seconds. He gone for it. Shea Hope convince him. "I think it look adjacent, man. I think this will be 30 for 3. I definitely think so." Shamar Joseph said maybe height. Yeah, so taximan said, "Look now, look how I deal with it." And just take him things and just throw them out of the taxi. And Shakari Paris said, "A fool for thing you throw out of the taxi, so boss. You know me, me just make 177 in West Indies will protect me." Hi. Yeah, man. Him say, you remember when Aaron Maguire go Greek and keep up him rubbish. All him tell the people them say, you know who am I? I'm the captain for Manchester United. You remember? So me I tell you, you know, me just crack a big 100 for the West Indies, you know. So yeah, threw out my things them out of the car. All this now. So waste the review there. I would have wasted it too. I really thought that it was in line. Well, I did it was in line, but it was height. I would have probably wasted that one too. That one is one that I would have wasted. Yes. So I got that one wrong. I know it was in line, but it was clearly over the top, which it's on replay that I realized that it struck the batsman high and it was going over the top. Chase is not, yeah, Chase and Brandon King, man. That's a Chase and Brandon King decision, you know. That blame must go on Chase and Brandon King. Nobody know where the ball is. Nobody know where the ball is. Everybody's asking around where the ball is. Where is it? Who has it? Probably the square leg umpire had it. It finally come to Jaden Seals. Probably, yeah, man, it was a square leg umpire. It's a good decision though by the umpire. Here he is from the Curtly Ambrose and bowls the batsman flash outside the half stump and it goes through to the keeper. End of over number 10. Yes. Yes, so to make the point about why I blame Brandon King and Chase for that review, they are the ones to be blamed because they were the one who are square of the wicket. And they would have able now to identify the height of the ball from squared of the wicket, you know. And I think just judging on the reaction of Chase even before he went for it, I think he allowed hope more than anyone else to convince him about it, you know, because I think he being square, he realized that it is going over. So the man that is behind the stump can the persons behind the stump, like the wicket keeper, will give you a perspective on the line. The fielders that are square, they are the one who gives you a perspective on the height. In other words, the length. So when the captain is making up his mind to whether to review or not, he needs to go through that. He needs to say to the keeper, or firstly, what you think about the line. They will give you an understanding. And then to the person that's square, which he was one of them. So it's really him and Brandon King there should have known that that ball was high because it wasn't just high, it was very high. Alzari Joseph comes into the attack and bowls to Kamindu, and that ball swings in the air. Look at that ball. Well, it was a replay of Shamar previous delivery they were showing you, but I would love to see that ball again from Alzari Joseph. It really curved in the air. It did a lot. I want to see the speed. I would love to see that ball from Alzari Joseph again, and I would love to see the speed. Definitely. Here is Kamindu, the left-hander, is on one. Joseph round the wicket, bowls to him, he covers up and he plays it out into the offside, and there is no run. So the fielder square should take blame for that. So Shakari Paris beat up the man, and he was arrested. He was duly arrested. He is now out on bail. So we'll see that go. We'll see how that goes. A bad man thing, eh? Bad man thing. And I always told you that Shakari Paris is someone who's just languid and he just look lazy and everything. Round the wicket comes in bowls, clipped away to square leg by Kamindu, and there is no run. Because even when he made the 177, I can recall saying that, you know, I always think that he's a good batsman, but because of his easygoing manner and his languid approach, when he gets out, people will think that he is not into it, you know, because he just looks that way. There are two slips on a gully. There's a backward point cover mid off, mid on, mid wicket, and a deep backward square leg as Kamindo secors. He watch Alzari Joseph moves in from the distance, round the wicket. The slip goes down, he covers up and play to mid-on, and there's no run. 30 for 2 after 10.4. Once again, very slow going nearby the West Indies, 10.4 overs. They'll probably get in 12 for the hour, but that is slow. You know, even the first hour of the morning's play, you have to get in 15. You come out fresh, you have to get in 15 in the first hour. They got 2 wickets. We're going to watch now as Kamindo secors. A reminder that there are 2 slips and a gully, backward point, cover, mid-off. Joseph, the right-arm fast bowler, is round the wicket. He bowls to Kamindo, played it down. In the onside, Django moves around to his right field, and there was no run. 30 for 2 after 10.5. 1 to come in this over. Yeah. Yeah, so Shakari Paris always comes across in a very languid, easygoing manner, and you would get the impression that he was someone that is not trying, you know. And it's Shakari Paris is one of those cricketers who is easy for you to cuss, you know. Yeah, it's easy for you to cuss him. So they have taken out the cover. They have moved the mid off a little wider and a little short, and they have put him in mid wicket. So it's a 5-4 field, 2 slips and a gully, backward point, a wide mid off, a mid on, a mid wicket, a square leg, and a fielder on the backward square leg boundary. Alzari Joseph is going to bowl round the wicket to the left-handed Kamindo. Interesting decision. He starts to move in, and then he aborts his run up. You know, I don't know what happened there. It appears like it was a batsman, and Chase is not very happy with Kamindo, you know. Need to put pressure on these Sri Lankans. See if we can get them out by lunch. Round the wicket bowls, he covers up and he played it to the man at mid-on. End of the over. It may likely be the drinks break. Let's see, or they will get in one more over. It's 1 minute to 10 in Jamaica. So they'll get in one more over before the drinks break. So okay. So they, so both Joseph and Chase don't seem to be on the same wavelength in the setting of the field, and that probably was throwing off Kamindo. And he's not a very happy camper, you know. And I saw that, and I want to say something about Joseph. I don't think Joseph is happy with his teammate, and he has a very, very good reason to. He's not very happy, and I think I should I talk about it? Should I say it? It's not everything that. So Anderson Phillips is going to bowl. I would have given Shamar one more, eh? He bowls 5. I would have given him one more, 6. I would have, yeah, him getting wickets, and him getting wickets from balls that should not normally get wicket, from a half volley and from a one shot outside the half stump. Anderson Phillips has 3 slips, and that's a good start from him as the batsman comes forward and block a good delivery back down the pitch to the bowler. So Anderson Phillips is clearly improving steadily over the years, you know, and he has increased his pace, he has increased his accuracy. And last year he got a county contract. I don't know what happened this year. Probably after this test match, you could see him flying out to England, or to tell when the county sees the resume. He comes in now. 3 steps on the gully, goes in, back off a length, pulled away, through mid wicket. He's going down out towards the boundary. The fielder giving chase, but he can give up the chase now as it goes into the wickets. A release of the pressure there by Anderson Phillips. That was short, back of a length. Udara punks and pull it through mid wicket. So Phillips releasing the pressure. It was a short ball, it was a nothing ball, and he's not as lucky as Shamar Joseph. So when he bowl bad ball, they will get punished. So we're gonna watch now. 34 for 2. Sri Lanka winning the toss and deciding to bat first. 30 34 for 2. So mom taking her child to the match. That's good, mom. He moves in now. This is under Phillips. So needs to be tight. Good delivery. Oh, that one touchdown and beat the outside edge as the batsman groped forward. And it just seemed away, leave him and through to the keeper. Brilliant delivery. That's a cracking delivery from Anderson Filipino. Look at the seam of that ball. It came into the batsman in the air and then it started to leave him as it pitched. That's a cracking delivery. And even Jaden Seals have to celebrate that delivery. That's where you need to keep it in Anderson Phillips. You need to do nothing more than that. And the occasion one that comes back in or just don't go away. As he comes in now, bowls and Yodara covers up and play to mid off. So except for that short delivery, the second delivery, which was pulled, he has bowled 3 good deliveries, carrying the batsman forward. 2, he defends back down the pitch on the offside, but one of them beat the edge as he gropes forward and the ball touched down, and you could see the seam of the ball in the air as it touched down and just leave the batsman. Here is Philip. He's going to bowl to Yodara. Yes, man, I remember that Joseph story. I will get to it. Comes in now, bowls pitched up, driven to the man at mid-off, and there is no run. So Philip here, this looks like a 7-2 field for Philip because they know that he can keep it on one spot. Know that he can keep it on. John Camber there polishing the ball. You know, see, so John Camber held on to a catch in the last match. That must be a relief. You know, you hope that he takes the catch, but you don't have a lot of confidence when it goes to him, right? So Yodara. Oh, by the way, King have snapped up 2 catches since morning. Yodara seconds as Philip comes in, bowls to him, and he turns this into the onside, and they will get a single. So that's the end of Philip over. 5 from it. There must be the drinks break now. The umpire collect the ball. So yes, it's the drinks break. So really appreciate everyone that has tuned in. I want to talk about that Alzara Jose. Yeah, so let me talk about it. So as last week, Alzara Joseph opened a business in Antigua. He has the grand opening of the business, and he planned it so that it was a day off for the West Indies cricket team, and he planned it when everyone was there, the entire team. You know, nice grand opening, food and drinks and everything, because he has these clothes now. He has this line of gears that he's selling from his store in Antigua. And what is it? The backroom staff, the support staff of West Indies, is it 11 or is it 10? I think it's 10 or 11. All right, just 10 to be conservative. Plus the 14 players, so that's 24. He would have made 15. And all those persons like who do net bowling as around the team, and all the persons that work at Coolidge in the West Indies office, you could fear to say that's about 100 in all. Of everybody that around the team, the journalists, them and everything, and those who work in the office plus the squad. And it's 3 of them turn up at the man thing. 3 out of everybody there. 3 of them turn up at the man thing. And when I tell you, say these guys don't like one another, I don't think I joke me. 3, the man having grand opening. You and the man fly up and plane together. You and the man take the field together. You and the man defend a cars together. And the man having grand opening. And 3 of you turn up at the thing. The man don't like each other. Man don't like each other. 3 of them turn up at the man thing, you know. For the whole West Indies staff, for that Coolidge, everybody. 3 of them. And the man planned it when there was a rest day. I'm not happy about that, boss. As I say, I know everything you hear, you talk, but after thinking about this one, I don't think this one is something we necessarily need to keep. Just eating a ripe banana because of the drinks break. They should be back shortly, but let me just finish eat this banana. I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that. Three of them, no, three of them turn up at the man thing. Bad mind and grudgeful, you know. That's because the man put him the money to good use and a running business. And I start out a local business, you know. Them sell gears and jersey and all of them things and cricket shoes and so on. Man, they don't like one another, man. Man, them don't like one another. Don't like one another, man. Don't like one another. They say all food waste. Food waste because the man cater for everybody for coming up. Food waste. Eh? Food waste. How that for happen? And the whole on our team yet. Jano. You better you go and thief something. And people that's at least then can support him. No, man, they're not gonna support the youth. Man, they're not gonna support the youth. So I don't think Alzari is very happy with them at all. Don't support the youth. What can go someone have to support the youth? They get another wicket now. You know. You know, those things will be. Him can't be happy. Him can't be happy with this environment. Would you no? Would you be happy in this environment? Would you be happy? Him can't be happy. Man, preparing food and it waste. When it's three person turn up out of everybody, the staff at Coolidge, the back room, the support staff here, the 10 members who are support staff, and the other 14 players. Out of that 24 and a 3. Oh boy. The staff of Coolidge must go down there. I am pay them bill. At the West Indies team, I pay them bill. At the players them work for, you know. Them for go support the man thing, but them bad mind. Them probably don't even know they get paid, you know. Cause them are work, they don't know they get paid, you know. Them just know say a week time or a month time them get them salary. Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting first are 38 for 2. Alzari Joseph is going to bowl to Kamindu. The left-hander is on 3s. Round the wicket, comes in, bowls outside the half stump. That one took off. Why is everybody else getting 3 slips? 144 there by Alzari. Everybody else getting 3 slips and Alzari only getting 2. Is it because he's bowling to the left-hander? But no, but the others get 3 slips when they were bowling to the left-hander too. It's very interesting. Because even Anderson Phillip got 3 slips. Anderson Phillip have a 7-2 field. So he's bowling 138, 146, 144. Those are the 3 deliveries thus far. Round the wicket, pitched up, driven through mid-on. Comes across, diving stop there by Jaden Seals. They let a single though. We're going to see now if he gets 3 slips now that the right-hander is there. He's really, and you can see it on his face. He's not happy. That's the catch there that John Campbell took. the one that I'm talking about. So you can see that he's not happy. Look at that man's face. He man having business, boss. You know, man a start up in business. The whole on a teammate. And I don't go support the man. I'm telling all the while, them not like one another. Over the wicket comes in short, vicious bunks. I would like to see the speed on that one. The batsman ducked on that. That's Yodara. 146.1. He's cranking it up. He's cranking it up, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Me not talk to them, boss. If you never come on my thing, me not talk to you. Over the wicket comes in balls, turn away to the man at mid wicket. Oh, he's going to be very angry here now, you know. Oh, I would love to see the look at on his face as he plays that ball to mid wicket. The fielder did not bend to stop it. That's Keema Paul, who stood up straight and allows it to pass him, and they came back for 242 without three. They ran three. It was an easy ball to stop that mid wicket, and Keema Paul just allows it to just pass him like that. He didn't use the long barrier or anything. He just stand up with both feet together like he's playing baseball, cricket, or something, but that there's no commitment there from Keema Paul just now. And as you see, he walks right off the field, and you see there's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there. And if you don't, you wouldn't know. He walks right off the field because the ball played straight to Keema Paul. It should be, even if the man used a long barrier, even if a man used a long barrier and it passed him, but there was no effort to stop the ball whatsoever. Him just, you, you know, like when girls put them two legs together, that's all Keema Paul did. He didn't bend or anything. The ball played to him at mid wicket. He didn't bend or anything. So there's worries in the camp. When I have to turn up at the man thing, worries in the camp, big worries. Philip comes in and back ball is turned away down to the man coming off the backward square leg boundary. That will come back for two, surely. Return from Shamar Joseph straight over the stump, but the batsman made it. Nothing can go so, man. Nothing can go so, man. Yeah, man. As Phillips outside there just play that one into the covers 131. As I say now, as teammates, you for good camaraderie, just turn up at the man thing, man. You're not going to go say nothing, you know. You can't even just stand up out at the doorway or something, or walk around. You don't have to say nothing, but just turn up. And when, because, sure, a bad mind, you know, the bad mind. Bad mind. You and the man them are sleeping at the same hotel, fly on the same plane. They all over the world together. And you start your business. You cook food and everything and create a great environment. And you start your business and them say, come in, come support me, man. And then three of them and them turn up. Bad mind, man. Bad mind. Five to four for two. Bad mind. Philip in the second over, 1.4 overs. This comes in over the wicket, balls tucked away, down backward of square leg. Straight to Shamar Joseph this time. Not exactly straight to him, but he has a shorter way to go. And they come back and they stay on one. 45 for two. 45 for two. A little bit too straight there is Anderson Phillip. Probably not get that ball to leave away. He probably want to get that ball to just see him away and he go too straight because he went for the magic delivery. Yeah, man, he can't be happy. And you know, sometimes things happen because if I never told you those things and you never knew them, right? You wouldn't know what Alzaro going through, you know. And there are mitigating circumstances. Edge gone down to third man for four. Was off the back foot and it flew in the gap and went down to the boundary for four. 49 for two at the end of 14. Yeah, so you wouldn't knew what the man is going through if I never told you that. So there's underlying issues. And and when Chemo Paul just decide to lock him foot like a girl and allow the ball to run past him, and the man then get three when it shouldn't be none. Can't be happy, man. Can't be happy. So once again, a lot of the runs from Sri Lanka is coming down at third man. So Joseph Alzari is it, moves in over the wicket, bowls outside the half stump, and that again gone down to third man. We must put in a third man. In the last match, 40% of Sri Lanka runs came at third man. That is not by chance. It's just because they are playing a little late. They are getting beaten. You have to put in a third man rather than chase. Don't wait again till them the 200 and had for putting the third man. Have to put in a third man. Force them to score somewhere else. You need a third man. You need a third man. So let's watch. 53 for 2. The Sri Lanka 50 is up. Udaran 38 face up to Joseph, who's over the wicket down the leg side, and it goes through to the keeper, and there's no run. Three for 2. Sri Lanka batting after winning the toss. Kamindu is on 8. Udara is on 38. Alzara Joseph, this is his third over. He has been bowling fast. None for 11 from 2.2. He's over the wicket now. He bowls to Udara, and Udara covers up and play that one to the fielder coming in from mid wicket, who comes down this time and bend the knee and bend the hip. That is Seals. You know what? There was an image just now when at the end of that over, and as Seals and Joseph walk past each other, Seals spot him on his back, and I spot him on his back, and he would have said something to him. I I want to believe it was kind words or something to cheer him up. But then when he passed, Seals whipped his head around, and the smile on Seals' face was very, very mysterious. Joseph over the wicket bowls to Udara, who pulls high in the air down towards deep mid wicket. It will stop, it will plug. They're gone for one, they come back for two. Seals caught up with it, and they will stay on two. It's 55 for two after 14.4. You know, that miss by Kemo Paul at mid wicket have certainly sort of upset Alzari Joseph, because in his first two overs, he was bowling fast, he was far more accurate, you know, you know. Come on, these guys don't like one another. Bad mind the man because the man is starting business and the man invite one another, don't support the youth. Why we don't support the youth? A bad mind that the whole on the half day or the teammate and the man say come support the thing. And I don't go. Bad mind. Absolutely bad mind, man. 55 for 2. Yeah, man. Now I'm not talk to none of them. The only 3 person, there are 3 number person I talk to, and the 3 person will come. I not talk to nobody else, boss. Yeah, man, I'm not with nobody else, man. Nothing at all, man. I don't want to say nothing to me. You can talk to the man now. Did you turn up at the man thing? You come talk to the man. Did you turn up at the man thing? It must be harder to talk to him. As that one is played to mid on and there is no run. Yes, as the bowling coach and the bowler, you have to talk to him. But if you turn up at the man thing, you don't think you get a different response when you talk to the man. It must harder to talk to the man now, because you never turn up at the man thing. You never turn up at the man thing, so it must harder to talk to the man. Blunder factory wasn't there. I can tell you that blunder factory wasn't there. It must harder to talk to the man. Well, blunder factory might not be, probably wasn't there because blunder factory is keeping malice because Alzari Joseph is no longer at the St. Lucia King. But that's another story again. That is blunder factory fault too. That was blunder factory fault. You'll probably talk about that a little later on. 55 for 2. Phillips to continue. He's going to bowl to come in. He's an 8. Round the wicket, wide outside the half stump. The batsman allows it to go through and there's no run. But just look at it from on face value. Wouldn't it be easier? I don't know if Rami Rampal had turned up though, I know the only person name that was called was Blunder Factory. So I don't know, but I'm just making the point that it's easier to talk to the man if you had turned up. After back foot punches, misfield at backward point, and they will come back for 2 surely. Are they going to run 3? No, they stay on 2. So King there misfielding at backward point and giving up some more runs there. That was after back foot coming though. This goes up now 57 for 2. 57 for 2. But and just the body language of Alzari there as he walked off the field and Rampal came over to him, definitely came over to him for the camera. The body language of Joseph, I say, no, because the camera watch now, you come beside me, man. Just go about your business, yeah, man. Outside the half stump by Philip as it goes through to the keeper and there is no run. The score remains at 57 for 2. Kamindo, the left-hander, is on strike. He's on 10 from 14 deliveries. Udara is on 40 from 53. Much easy. It must be a better relationship if you turn up at the man thing. Must be. And, professionalism should have take care of the man thing. Whether you like the man or not, just your professionalism should take you go the man thing, boss. Yeah, man. On a bad mind. On a go at the man thing. Round the wicket, covers up and play back down to mid-off and there's no run. And I have no preference for Joseph more than anyone else in the team because if it was anyone else, I'd have said the same thing. But I told you all the while that these guys don't like one another now. And that's why I told you that I don't know enough about these guys whether to like them or hate them. I have no opinion on them. Except for things like these, it just show them bad mind and wicked. Support the man thing on a teammate. me hurt about it, man. Philip round the wicket bowls that one taken on the pad as it goes down behind square. He's bowling at 130 here. Let's see, leg by signal. So this is probably his best over, as long as this ball don't go for a boundary. So Kamindo is on 10, Udara is on 40, comes into strike, 58 for 2. One deliver to go in this over from Anderson Philip, bowling from the Kirtley Ambrose end. He's going to run in now to bowl to Udara, who is on 40. He has opened the innings. So he comes in now to bowl to Udara, the right-hander. The slips goes down outside the half stump, cracks away down to the boundary for 4. Ho, ho, ho. Philip needs to come out of the attack. That's it for now, Philip. Not a good start. 3 overs for 18 runs. 62 for 2 at the end of over number 16. 62 for 2. That's really a poor delivery there from Anderson Philip. The thing about it, probably if it was Shamar Joseph bowled that long up, the batsman that played in the fielder hand. That's why you shouldn't take him off. So we're going to watch this over from Alzari Joseph. 2 slips and a gully. Comes in now, bowls, turn away through the onside. Good stop there by Brandon King. He had was to come in front of the umpire to stop that one but he did a good job and prevented any run. And that should cheer up Alzari Joseph, as there was a good smart work there by Brandon King. Yeah, and they're showing the replay of that shot that Udara played just now that bring him up to 44. And it was the same point I was making about the dismissal of the opener, Madushka. Joseph round the wicket bowls. Mendu turned this away to the left of the man at mid-on. Shamar Joseph, who stopped it and prevented it from passing him. It wasn't cleanly. So in that shot that you saw there now, he played it forward of square through the covers for 4. Because Anderson Phillips is bowling at 130. Shamar Joseph is bowling at 140, 142. So that's why Maduska could not play that ball through cover, because it rushed him. Joseph round the wicket bowls, Mendu drives, again misfielding the covers. Poor misfielding. No, it's simple childish cricket that is being played, because the way the fielder went at the ball, there was nothing orthodox about it. Nothing. It's like a girl who haven't played cricket yet and they don't know how to field. Look at that. You cannot stop it like that. Who was that? Amir Jangu. And I'm sure Joseph is not happy with this. He cannot be happy with what just went there just now, because it was no fielding at all. It's just like the man saw the ball coming and he had never played cricket yet, so he doesn't know how to approach the ball in the right way to stop it. So just poor fielding again. Joseph round the wicket, bowls to Kamindo, plays it out into the covers. This time Django picks up, and it's 64 for 2. So that's poor feeling. They're really getting the fast bowler annoyed, I think I'll bring Greaves into attack from Anderson Philip end. I probably bowl Chase. Chase probably need to bowl himself just to peg back this over rate, because let's watch this delivery from Alzari Joseph as he's bowling from the Sir and the Roberts, and he comes in, bowls. Commando pitched up, driven, lovely shot this time through the offside. Seals is giving chase. They gone for one, they come back for two. Seals picks up now, sends the return in, and they stay on two. That will carry the score up to 66 for two. So Commando moves up to 14. Udara is on 44. So I was that thought slipped me. But I would go for Greaves. Oh, I was saying that Chase should probably bowl now. And under normal circumstances, I I would prefer to go with Greaves. But you need to step up on your over rate. It makes no sense play the match and then lose 50% of your match fee. So get in the overs. Get in. You need to get in the overs. Back of a length, defend there by Kamindu, end of over number 17. At the end of over number 17, West Indies, Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting first. They are 66 for 2. 66 for 2 at the end of over number 17. So I'll go with Greaves to bowl over number 18. Our Chase, they're gonna give Philip one more. So I think this is believing in your fast bowler. But there are times when you have to take out your fast bowler because he's not bowling as tidy as you want, you know. So he needs to give us a good over now. What he's doing now is that he's bowling 5 good deliveries and then serving up the 4 ball in the over. And that is the biggest challenge because he's bowling 5 good deliveries and then serving up the 4 ball. Outside the half stump, another 4 ball. The fielder on the cover boundary comes around. Hodge, I think Hodge is probably on the backward point boundary. Because if he was at third man, he wouldn't be able to reach that one. They come back for 2. So he's on the backward point boundary. So they having a fielder out there on the backward point boundary. Is that he's trying to prevent those boundaries that are going to third man. But I wouldn't have him at backward point. I would have him more on to third man. We're going to watch now as he comes in now, bowls to Udara. He's in, bowls to Udara. Good delivery, covers up, inside edge, and the batsman have to whip around to make sure that it wasn't going on his stump as it went between his front and back foot. And he has to whip his head around as that one was a better delivery from Philip, but as it came back in and hit the inside edge of the bat. Good delivery there. Right? So Anderson Philip there bowling a good delivery. Yeah, so Alzari Joseph is no longer at the St. Lucia Kings. And that's another story in itself. So you know that Blunder Factory really have him up. As that ball comes in now and the batsman turn it down to fine leg for a singer. Yeah, Blunder Factory is not happy with it. He's yeah. He think that Blunder Factory believe that people sell him out and you know that he has been tricked. Oh, Blunder Factory was told to sit down because you're a mere employee. Sit down. You're a mere employee. You know, sit, sit down. You're a mere employee. 17.3 overs have been bowled. Here is Anderson Phillip. He's going to bowl to Commando, so he has 2 slips and a gully, cover mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, and then there's a fielder on the backward square leg boundary. He's round the wicket, bowls, and the batsman covers up and played it out into the offside. So 2 slips, gully, backward point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, and the fielder on the backward square leg boundary. So clearly sees he's going to bowl another over before the break. No, those two bottles that you saw with just now, it's not, both of them did not have in water. I think they have some hydration liquid in the second one. The first one was water, but the second one there was some hydration liquid. Phillips is round the wicket, balls to come in, do whips this to the man at mid wicket, on the bounce to Django, who fielded this time like our cricketer should field. And there's a little overcast sky here, showing some clouds in the sky, some fluffy clouds. So Sears is probably going to come back in to replace Alzari. But I would really get in chase to bowl a few overs. Me have to defend my salary, boss. I defend my salary. I have to defend my salary. Yes, one thing for win, but me also defend my salary. Yeah, man. And we are way behind. I think the last check we were about 9 minutes behind with the over rate. Turn away into the onside for another singer. The fielder comes off the backward square leg boundary and field. So at least he didn't end that over with a boundary. 70 for 2 after 18. Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting. 70 for 2 after 18 on the first morning of the second test from the Sir Vivian Richards Oval in St. John's, Antigua. Seals round the wicket, bowls to come in, who plays a pleasant and drive down the pitch for 4. First delivery back by Seals, pitched up and Kamindo into the drive, played it sweetly between the batsman and the stump, down to the boundary for 4. It was a magnificent shot. The hand drive, they say it's one of the hardest shots to play in cricket, you know. I always remember a local man on the radio in Jamaica who said that he knows cricket, saying that the hand drive is the easiest shot to play. You know what he calls the hand drive? If somebody swing across the line of the ball, as long as the ball goes into the onside, that's a hand drive for him. One thing about it, I've never seen that man make a run through the offside in my life. Never made a run through the offside. You have never yet played a ball through the offside. I can't recall he ever doing that. 74 for 2. So Seals is going to continue to bowl to Kamindo. Second delivery was a dot ball. This is the third. 2 slips goes down, pitched up, leave alone, outside the half stump as it goes through to the batsman, to the keeper, and there is no run. So 74 for 2. Jaden Seals. Yeah, so all those things, you know. Blunder Factory not happy with Alzari Joseph because he has moved from the St. Lucia Kings, but it was not his fault. Is that what had happened is that Blunder Factory did not read the rules. So when he turned up at the CPL action, he was ignorant of the process. He was ignorant because he came in he went to the action with his usual bumptious self, and you know, and he didn't read the rules of the action. And that's why players like Johnson Charles and Alzari Joseph, they are no longer at the Kings. And it's just a straight thing like Blunder Factory didn't know the rules. Didn't know the rules because he did not update himself. That one goes through down the leg side to Shea Hope, and the score remains at 74 for 2. You know. It seems at the action, it appears that Blunder Factory is his number one priority was to select Joel Anjo. Yeah, that well, at least he came across that way. I don't know if he came across that way. Was it after him realized that the folly of his way and that lost Johnson Charles and Alzari Joseph, because he just simply did not know the rules of engagement, because he never update himself on it, you know. He was told to sit down. You're a mere employee. Sit. Over the wicket, clipped away, down through mid wicket. The fielder circles around. That's Brandon King. He picks up now. The batsmen are back for two. He sends the returning high one to the keeper. 76 now for two at the end of 19. That was a no ball there by Jaden Seals. So he has to bowl this one over again. So 3 runs. So that will go up now to 77 for two as Jaden Seals strive for some extra pace here. So just about 15 minutes to go before the lunch break, and West Indies have still not yet bowled 20 overs. Remind you that they were expected to bowl 30 overs in this session. And so I would love to see the time. The last time the time it was 9 minutes behind. It should have increased by now. Over the wicket, he comes in, bowls to Kamindo, hit this in the air, down towards the man at mid-off, Alzari Joseph, who moves around field, and there is no run. 77 for two at the end of over number 19. So if you said if 19 overs in 104 minutes, they should have been at 26 overs right now. So they are 7 overs behind. Yeah, so they should be at 26 overs right now. So they are 7 overs behind. Oh, so at 15 minutes to go, I think the most that they will get in is 4. But knowing the West Indies, they're probably only getting 3. Because they're taking more than 5 minutes to bowl an over here, as you can see. And 19.5 is 95. So they're taking 5.5 minutes to bowl an over. Shamar Joseph is back into the attack. The ball comes back into Yodara, who had played it out to mid wicket, and there was no run. 77 for 2. 5 deliveries to go in this over. The Seals have been getting this ball to dart over the place. Though Joseph is the man who have taken the wicket. 2 for 21 from his 5.1 overs. 2 for 21. He's going to move in now. He's going to bowl to Yodara, who's on 47. The Sri Lanka opener, the 2 slips goes down on his pad, clipped away through square leg. Work for the fielder on the boundary. Can Seals gets there. That's the 50. Yodara off century. 51 from 59 deliveries. Sri Lanka 81 for 2, as that was clipped off the leg through square leg. Seals could not get around off the backward square leg boundary, and 4 more to Yodara, taking him up to 51 as Alzari Joseph straight on his pad, and he clipped it away down backward through square leg. More that if you want to say backward square leg, what I think that's square leg, 4 runs. So 51 for Yodara, the Sri Lankan opener, brought into this team today ahead of Nisanka, who failed miserable in the first test. Shamar Joseph over the wickets to him, and he covers up and played it out to the fielder in the covers, and there was no run. 81 for 2, Shamara Joseph. 2 for 25 from his 5.3 overs. Sri Lanka, remind you, winning the toss and batting. The man are kissing, the man having tongue. The man are using tongue to play with the hanger and bat. Whoa. The things that people do. 81 for 2. 51 from 60 deliveries. I think it was 58 deliveries that it came up off. Here is Joseph, comes in now, bowls to Udara, who covers up, played it out into the covers. Oh, that's repeating, covers up, played out into the covers. So two consecutive deliveries, the batsman just defending and playing it out into the covers. And there was no run. It's 81 for 2. 81 for 2 is the score. Garth Ains, ever the pessimist. Garth Ains, you're a little pessimist though. No, man. West Indies is going to win the match. You hear that? West Indies is going to win the match, man. Don't be so pessimistic, man. We remember, Garth Ains, or may I remind you that Sri Lanka made 308 in the first test and lost by over an innings. One can argue though that West Indies were 160 for 5, and that Sri Lanka had their fast bowler on the park, it could be a different story. Nonetheless, a win is a win, and you take that win every time. Shamar Joseph is over the wicket. He bowls to Udara, and Udara covers up and play the ball to mid wicket as it comes back into him, and he played it into the onside. So this one, instead of leaving him, comes back into him, and he played it into the onside. End of over number 20. Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting first. They are 83 for 2 after 20 overs. Both wickets have been taken by Shamar Joseph, who have gone now 6 overs, 2 for 25. So Shamar Joseph, 6 overs, 2 for 25 as we pushed up towards lunch on this, the first morning of the second test match between West Indies and Sri Lanka, live from the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in St. John's, Antigua. The place is North Sound. So credit to Kamindua, who's on 58 not out from 73 deliveries. 83 for 2 after 20 overs. So he's on 58 not out from 73 deliveries. But that's showing 58. This now showing 53. Because I was wondering how it reached 58. But the graphics that we saw just now show 58. Or is I am interpreting the 3 to mean an 8. I'm sure it said 58. But I was wondering when he reached 58, and I was wondering, is there a mistake in the scoring? So I go with what I saw on the screen. But now, so 58. So Seals is going to continue. 6 overs, none for 16. He has bowled well. He has bowled tidily. He's bowling to the left-handed Kamindu. He's going over the wicket to the left-hander who covers up, played it out into the offside, and there is no run. So yeah, batsman just coming on the front foot there and just blocking that out into the offside, and there was no run. It's a straightforward block out into the offside. Gonna watch now as Seals is gonna move in now. He stay over the wicket. He bowls to Kamindu, allows the ball to just go across him through to the keeper. And again, there is no run as that one was back off a length. The typical right arm fast bowler coming over the wicket to the left hand that adds the ball under the cross him, and it goes out through to the keeper for no runs. As the jerk chicken is getting ready there, the sauce being applied to it as we approach lunchtime. This is not a good day for business at the ground. There are just a few persons at the ground, so you don't have a lot of chef at the ground today. As Kamindu wait and Dan Seals to bowl to him, and he crunches this wide of Halzari Joseph of mid-off, who lengthened his strides and picked up probably 10 yards within the boundary, sends the return to the bowler's end. The batsmen are back for 2. Kamindu moves up to 23. The score moves up to 85 for 2. Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting first in the second test match between them and the West Indies. West Indies would have won the first test match, so they have taken an unbeatable 1-0 lead in the series. This is the second and final match. Seals none for 18 from his 6.3 overs. There's a delay in play. I do not quite know what's the reason. Seals finally got the ball now. He's going to move in. He's going to bowl to Kamindu. The prolific Sri Lankan mid-order batsman is over the wicket. Bowls to Kamindu, covers up and plays it to the man in the covers. And again, there was no run. So, good recovery here from Sri Lanka. Garth Ains is saying that he doesn't believe that he's hoping that West Indies draw this match. Garth Ains, it's far from there, man. It's far from there, man. And we have brought in hope to strengthen the batting. You know, we have dropped the silver and brought in hope to strengthen the batting. But over the wicket comes in now. Bowls drive through the covers magnificently down to the boundary for 4. Save your legs, Django. As it pitched up and he drove that one through the covers for 4, and there's a smile on his face as Jaden sees pitched up, and the left-hander Kamindu was into the drive and he played it down to the boundary for 4. So probably just one more over to go before lunch. As expected, I generally take a break in the mid-session and then I come back and do the final 2 hours. So sometime around 2:30. They will start back after tea about 2 o'clock, but the match will go up until about 4:30 Jamaica time. So I will rejoin you at about 2:35 and carry you right through the rest of the afternoon session, right up until the close of play. So just about 6 minutes to go before lunch, and Kamindu is on 27. Yodara, who's going to face strike, he's on 53. Jaden Seals have bowled 7 overs and have taken none for 22. Shamar Joseph, who have bowled 6 overs, 2 for 27. Both of them start the bowling this morning because, as expected, Kemar Roach have been rested. He has a nigger. Oh, just before I leave, and well, just before lunch, sorry, I want to give Deandra Dutton a shout out, and we'll do a show probably after the test and look back at the Women World Cup after the test and have some guests, and we do a live show and speak about that some more. Shamar to Udara, clip to mid wicket on the bounce, no run. Score remains at 89 for 3. And yes, because Deandra Dutton, they took her off the field. They had to lift her off the field. During the singing of the anthem, there was an injury, a medical issue. So she was out there stand up, and all of a sudden she fainted and they have to take her off the field. And she still came back out and batted for the West Indies in the match. And I think only Ailey Matthews made more runs than her. But we'll do a show on that after this test match. But now that the test match is here, we concentrate on the test match. So next week we have to look at the West Indies Women World Cup team who reached the semifinals of their second consecutive T20 Cricket World Cup against all the odds, So we'll be looking at that after this match. A comprehensive, and we'll hear from the captain and so on. So 90 for 2, Sri Lanka. 90 for 2 is not a bad position. West Indies need a wicket now to tilt it back in West Indies' favor. Shamar Joseph bowled to the left, and then Kamindu, who gets a singer. One more to the total. It's 3 minutes before lunch. Can West Indies get in another over? Can Shamar Joseph bowl? Yes, probably. We're just going to get in another over and bring it up to 23 overs. They need to they need to do that. You know, so I will be doing a dedicated show to the women team, and I'm trying to get a very surprise guest for that show. Not Shane Leeds, not Haley Matthews, no, but I'm trying to get a surprise, a guest. Over the wicket, comes in now, bowls to the right-handed Yodara, who covers up and played it out into the offside, and there's no run. Shamar cranking it up to 138.3 in that on that delivery. Yes. I will try and speak to Shane Dietz. I don't know if he wants to talk to me right now, because I did send him 2 emails and he has not responded to any of those two. My latest 2 emails that I sent to him, he has not responded to any of those two. So I don't know if he wants to talk to me. I don't know if he have taken my advice and book a flight to Sydney. Over the wicket, bowls off the back foot, and the batsman steered this away down towards the fielder on coming around from backward point on the boundary. One more to the total. Kavim are just flicking the ball with underarm to the keeper. 92 now for 2, with 1 delivery to go in this over. So we will definitely get another over in before the lunch break. So at least we would have completed 23 overs. Kamindu is on strike now. He's on 28 from 39. Sri Lanka 92 for 2. Shamar round the wicket now. Bowls to Kamindu, and Kamindu clip this off his hip down to fine leg for a single. 93 for 2 now. Kamindu moves up now to 29. So that's the end of that over, and we'll get one more before lunch. Why Chase don't try something? Give himself a over or give Aja over. Let's just change the pace on the ball. There have been a diet of pace since morning. So just try something. The batsman have to adjust to the slow ball now, you know. If you just try one of the spinners. So give Aj or you bowl a over. Just bowl a over. You know? And that changed. That peninsula. Wonderful look at the peninsula there. So 93 for 2 after 2 overs. Yeah, I would love, but they're gonna give Seals. Giving Seals. Oh, there's a coast tied to the stadium. The man entire cow at the stadium. Only in Antigua. Seals over the wicket, both to the left-handed commando, steer this down to the field and the backward point boundary for a singer. The Jaguar, the singer, as 2 spectators hurriedly coming into the ground, not realizing that, well, it's almost lunch. Or they're probably trying to get to lunch before everyone else. So they're still hurrying. Yeah. So 94 for 2. West Indies got in too early wicket, but then this pair have dug in. Yadara is on 55. Kamindu is on 30. Sri Lanka 94. So they're making some change in the field. They're bringing up the man off the backward point boundary to orthodox backward point. So there's 2 slips to gully, backward point, cover, mid off, mid on, mid wicket, edge, dropped, right through the gap, dropped. And Seals is annoyed with first slip and second slip. John Camber involved, right? John Camber is involved. John Camber is involved. But I want to see the replay again. But that ball went right between first and second slip as it edged. I really almost said caught, but then I saw the ball drop. Edge. Can't blame Camber. I don't think think it's Greaves' fault, you know. Greaves went right in front of Cameron and pull out of the catch. Oh, Greaves. That's Greaves. And Seals is not happy. And you know, the West Indies fast bowlers are not happy at all. Greaves, the ball, you will learn that in school, that when the catch is to the right, the man to the right goes for the ball. Seals bowl 140.2. There was some hunger in that delivery just now. 140.2. It's the first time I've heard that I was just looking back at the catch again, you know. I've heard that he have bowled 140 in the past, but it's the first time I've ever observed it, because he have been bowling about 136 since morning. But that delivery after he dropped the catch, he really cranked it up, and you know, the West Indies far banged away, dropped again. How was that on the bunks? Probably on the bunks there, 137.4. Um, my conclusion at this time, and until I see more, is that it was Justin Greaves who have went across John Camber. The catch was to Greaves' left, it was to Camber right. Seals pitched up, driven into the offside. Brandon King partially stopped the ball, and they go through for a single. Let's look at it this way. Oh, it didn't get to Camber. It's Greaves. Greaves messed it up, man. It was to Camber's right, it was to Greaves' left. So that means it's Camber's catch. But then Greaves moved to his left and stopped it from reaching Camber. Oh boy. Garth Ince, your boy Greaves, I sell the match. Garth Ince, your boy Greaves, I sell the match. And what an ideal time it would have been for West Indies to get a wicket on the stroke of lunch, because that would have been lunch, you know. And Seals is not happy. And you know, you remember when I was telling you that he spot Alzari Joseph on his shoulder, and I know he said a kind words to him, but then when Alzari Joseph passed him, he looked around, and there was a very mischievous smile on his face, like, you know. But then Beard came back to his Seals now. He's feeling what Alzari Joseph was feeling. So that mysterious, cheeky smile that he had then, you know, what you say, karma. It was a yeah, it was some karma in less than a hour. In less than a hour. It was karma in less than a hour. That I must tell you that at lunch on at lunch after 23 overs, Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting. They are 99 for 2. Madushka was the first to go, caught by Brandon King at backward point. It was a ball outside the half stump. The shot was on, but I think he was beaten for pace, and it went to King at backward point, who took the catch. He made 6 from 11. And Chandimal, one pitched up to him on his pad, a half volley. Again, he should have hit it away through mid wicket, but again, he chose to find Brandon King. Brandon King took the catch. And so both batters that have been dismissed, Maduska and Chandimal, both were caught by Brandon King off the bowling of Shamar Joseph. Maduska made 6 and Chandimal made 1. Not out at the crease is Yodara, who's on 60. He replaced Nisanka in the Sri Lanka setup. And Kamindu Mendes, a man who averaged 60 odd in Test cricket, is on 30 from 42 deliveries. So Sri Lanka, having lost their second wicket at 25, these two have now added 74 for the third wicket. Let me run through the West Indies bowling chart quite quickly for you. Jaden Seals, 8 overs, 3 maiden, none for 28. That should have been 1 for 24. Shamar Joseph, 7 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 31. Alzari Joseph, 4 overs, 1 maiden, none for 17. And Anderson Phillips, 4 overs, no maiden, none for 22. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the morning session. I will be back with you at 2:35 Jamaica time. Maybe by that time when we get back, hopefully, the West Indies team is batting. Take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and I'll see you 2:35 p.m. Jamaica time.